I'm here in Subtica in northern Serbia. I thought this would be a good time to report on Inarah's latest publication, Volume 11, and it's got an amazing host of academics giving some very interesting papers. I'm going to mention a few of the papers that are out, and apologies in advance if I make a mess of the pronunciation of some of them because they're in French and German as well as in English. At the outset there's Marcus Gross. He's got one in English called Everyday Islamic Life and its Quranic Basis, Why the Traditional Narrative Cannot Be Right. So that would be a fascinating one to look at, and of course that fits in with everything we've been saying on this channel here. And then there's Ibn Waraq, and his one is titled Islamophobia and Islamic Studies, another great little essay that would be well worth taking a look at. And then there is Rakad Antonius, and his one is in French, and it's titled Islamophobia comme paradigme réflexion critique, Islamophobia as a paradigm, critical reflections. So that would be an interesting one. The subject of Islamophobia is obviously always a relevant topic to look at. Ralph Gadban has got another French essay, L'importance des études sur la naissance de l'islam pour le monde arabo-musulman, the importance of studies on the birth of Islam for the Arab-Muslim world. There's one by Volker Popp as well, Zum Ursprung des Motto Allahu Akbar, Arabisch Semantik als Produkt Islamischer Theologie, which I take is the origin of the term Allahu Akbar. So I think that would be an interesting one. I'll probably have to get that one translated into English for me. Of great interest is an essay by Stephen Shoemaker, The Quran's Holy House, Mecca or Jerusalem. So he's really going for the Jerusalem thesis by the sounds of it. That would be a fascinating one to look at. Our good friend Professor Robert Kerr is also included. His one in French is Mohammed un seul mise sur les lèvres du désert, and I leave it to the French viewers to translate that for us. I haven't had a chance to translate it into English, but it's on Mohammed. Peter von Sivers, I've been lucky to have a few exchanges with him over the years, a few emails. Very nice guy, phenomenal mind. He has written an essay in German, Zur Fehldatierung zweier Text, die das Prophetum Mohammeds verkünden. Again, apologies if I've murdered the German there, but I don't know what that is in English. I hope our German viewers wouldn't mind just giving us an English translation of that title. And then there's Gordon D. Nicol, The Development of Salvation History in the Tafsir of Muqatil bin Suleiman. So that should be of interest. Bruno Barsuam has one in German entitled Hadith und Gefährten-Tradition als new Legitimation Quellen für den Fiqh. So that would be one to look at. I envy the German viewers who can read this in German. We've got one in English by our good friend Daniel Brubaker, a critical edition of the Quran. I think that's going to be of great interest to many viewers. There's another one by Bruno Bonnet-Aymar in French, Une traduction des sourates 105 et 106, en exemple des sources bibliques du Quran. In English that would be a tradition of surahs 105, 106, an example of the Quran's biblical sources. And then we also have Muntir Yunus, genitive in the Quran, accusative in the Sunnah, the manipulation of the language of the Quran by the interpreters and Marians even. So that's just a summary of some of the key essays. There's actually a lot more than that, but I thought I'd just give you some of the standout ones. There's probably a few other gems there as well. It's a fascinating summary of essays, and the volume comes to several hundred pages. I think it's about 400 or 500 pages long, and the link is in the description. So if you're interested in getting hold of this book, I would highly advise you. This is the latest and best from the historical critiques that are out there. Obviously, the more recent the better, because there's things being found out all the time. So I leave you here from Subtica in northern Serbia. I'm going to cross into Hungary next. I'll just leave you with a view of this beautiful square that I'm in. All the best and goodbye.